Miracleman?
Miracleman. Yeah, do some kind of intro, too, that we're back.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, what's up, Internet? I'm Troy the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
And we've cracked open new beers for a new season of IMPERIUS REX. Stay with us and get with it.
Troy, it feels like it's been like 8 months.
Probably to the day.
Oh. So what's going on? What have you been up to?
Read a lot of books. That's it.
We were saying, it'd be a miracle if we came back for a season 2. Am I right?
Yeah, you
Right.
did say that.
I said it right before we started recording.
Yep.
As
And
a
it sounded great.
fantastic segue into...
Alan Moore's Miracleman.
Ooh.
That's right.
I've heard it's quite a read.
It is quite a read. It's almost as interesting as its legal history.
Yes. It has kind of a sordid history there.
Yeah.
Was originally created, the character created in the 40s, right?
Right.
It's kind of a UK knockoff to the Captain Marvel family.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Right? And then what? It just went out of... gone.
It was kind of, yeah. Well, it went out into obscurity because then, like, the UK started getting actual DC comics over there, so they could get, like, the real thing.
Like, we don't need this guy anymore.
So, like, get out of here. And then he was named Marvel Man. He wasn't Miracle
yeah.
Man.
Right.
So the similarities were uncanny.
Yes. But they essentially just said, like, all right, this isn't working. Alan Moore, you're something of a up-and-comer. Go nuts on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he did. This was probably Alan Moore's, like, first really notable superhero deconstruction, which he becomes abundantly famous for and everything until he decided he was done with superheroes and burned down the industry.
Right.
But, yeah, this was like a little glimpse into what he does with Watchmen, like 4 years later.
Right.
So, who is Miracleman, Troy? Other than this handsome fellow right there.
Well,
I'll tell you who. His name's Michael Moran? Moran?
I always said Moran.
Moran.
Yeah.
It's very close to Moron.
I know. That's why I was apprehensive about calling him Moran.
Yeah.
But,
well,
maybe it's different.
Mickey-
Different pronunciation in the UK.
MM.
Yeah.
I never put that together.
Till just now.
Yeah. I'm a little late bloomer. So, Michael Moran, he's given superhuman abilities by a wizard astrophysicist.
Yeah.
So he can turn into this invincible superhero when he
Yeah.
utters the magic phrase or
Kimota!
Kimota,
Yeah.
which is atomic backwards.
Yep.
Correct.
Very ingenious.
He's got a Miracleman family, just like Shazam did, or Captain Marvel did, with Kid Miracleman and Young Miracleman.
Yeah.
Very creative. And that's it, right? That's his whole deal.
Pretty much.
Or is it?
Wrong.
All right.
There's
This
more
is where
deals.
it gets confusing. So you dive into this part.
So the what he does is take that simple story and obviously makes it far more complicated, but far more interesting as well, because he takes all these classic superhero tropes and takes like the superhero family aesthetic and definitely tilts it on its ear. So it makes it far more interesting of a read than just simple hokey 40s stories that have gone on until like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, Alan Moore has a penchant for tarnishing like golden age nostalgia.
Oh, quite.
Because he was just like the strapping, like, go get him, you know, type of superhero that you can get behind.
Yeah.
And he just breaks it down and says, like, nope, that's all wrong. It's all bullshit.
Yep.
And essentially, the character of Miracleman was created in a test tube, essentially, from alien DNA.
Yeah.
Michael Moran was an orphan who was kidnapped by Dr. Gargunza. And then experimented on.
Yeah.
And what was the hyper reality or something that they switch into?
It's it's not a simple transformation that he does. It's actual body swap.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting when they get to like Kid Miracleman stuff farther into the series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but rather than just transforming into this other version of himself, he kind of shares a mind with that other version, but it's a full-on change.
Yeah.
Like when he becomes Miracleman, his own body goes to like this negative space.
Right.
And just hibernates, essentially. So where the book kicks off is, it's, 20 years since his last Miracleman outing.
Yeah.
They ran into this like disastrous mission, and the Miracleman family has been gone since then. And then like almost accidentally, as like a reflex, he says the word, or it suddenly pops back into his head.
Yeah.
He becomes Miracleman again, and then he kind of sets off on trying to figure out like why he can't remember his past or what happened to him.
Yep.
And it's a pretty long form story over the course of 3 trades, hardcovers.
Yeah.
Like 16 issues, I think.
It's not that many issues. There's
It's a in-depth read.
It is so dense. If anyone's read any Alan Moore stuff from the 80s, especially like this, Swamp Thing, even Watchmen, it is crammed full of words.
Oh, yeah.
But like really well written, but like an issue feels like you're reading a whole trade.
Oh my god.
It is so heavy and bogged down, but
it's good.
It helps. It helps.
You can't like binge them. You almost have to read like an issue a day and let it kind of sink in.
Yeah, and I tried to shotgun all these, and it took forever. Not in a bad way. It's just like
it's taken you 8 months to be able to sort this out.
You needed to process all of it.
Yep. So basically, the storyline just is Alan Moore's kind of typical superhero deconstruction, and then he takes it a step further on, it's set very much in the real world, like our world, and what the ramifications would be if this, like, god were in existence.
Yep.
And, like, what he would do, because he is a good guy. Like, he's not one of those, he's all-powerful, and then he has this dark side.
Right.
Like, he wants to do good, and he wants to make the Earth into this perfect utopia.
Right.
And towards the end of it, it really steers into that. And then Neil Gaiman picks up from there and started a run on it, which has been in limbo for a while. But one arc of it is done, and that's released in hardcover too. But it just, from there on, it goes into, like, what would this perfect superhero world be like after that?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. All right. So that's a rundown of Miracleman. Did you have any favorite moments? And we should mention, like, these are a little spoilery, so if you haven't read it, definitely read it. This is a comic. If you're a comic person, you need to read this one.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I waited this long on it, but I always had Miracleman to look forward to, so.
I really enjoyed the Kid Miracleman stuff, especially farther down in the second book and in the third book as well. I like how all that's handled. It does get really dystopian. So if, like, Alan Moore's really not your bag because he's kind of dark, this gets really dark.
Oh, yeah.
Like, violently dark. So it's not maybe for everybody, but I would still suggest it if you haven't read it.
Yeah, it plays it pretty light up until those last, I think, issue 15, where Kid Miracleman, who becomes like his main enemy once he gets his memories back.
Yeah.
And he just tears up London. Like, I feel like this is kind of the template for a lot of modern comics and movies where you have a villain just wreak havoc. Does he ever? It is brutal. He is a bad, bad dude. But no, that whole thing is awesome. And then the eventual conclusion to that is great, heartbreaking, really well written. Another favorite of mine is when Gargunza kidnaps Miracleman's wife, who's having his unborn child, and when he finally is able to transform into Miracleman, because prior to that he has something that's stopping him. And when he does, he just, like, rockets, like, makes a beeline to her, and just obliterates everything in his path, like rocks, trees, a guard, just blows him to pieces, and then, like, grabs a bad guy, like, flies him into space, and just drops him, so he rockets down to Earth like a meteorite. Oh, man, it's good. It's like one of those, it's one of the first examples of, like, how would a Superman affect real world people? Yeah. And it's like he would obliterate them. They would be liquefied.
Yeah, that's what this does really well too, because everything is set in the real world, so all the super violence that all these superheroes are doing to each other have realistic consequences to all the lay people around the world.
Yep. And then one of my other favorite moments, and this is a short one, but I thought it was really impactful, and it's a full-on spoiler, so skip 30 seconds. But when he decides he's just going to be Miracleman, and essentially his alter ego, Mickey Moran, doesn't want any part of it anymore, so he changes into him one more time, and it's essentially a suicide.
Yeah.
Because he says, I don't want to turn back, and he leaves like a little note with his grave epitaph on it, and then Miracleman walks off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
He just realizes like there's no place for his human side in this utopia that he's created.
Yeah.
And his wife has left him, and he just doesn't want any part of it anymore.
Yeah.
So he's like, just go be Miracleman.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Yep. So a lot of good moments. Any rough spots for you?
There are like a few moments where they introduce like alien creatures that come to play later on in the story to like a pretty good degree, but when they're first introduced, that whole chunk of it can just be thrown in the garbage. But it is just indecipherable. Like, it doesn't help the story in any way besides...
No, it's like a little side story of these characters that briefly appear in it.
Yeah.
Called the Warp Smiths.
Yeah.
And the little bit that they appear in the regular continuity of the story is enough. Like, you don't need more background on them. And this is so unreadable. In terms of, it's just like, it's basically another language that he creates that they speak in, and it's so weird sci-fi. I appreciate what he's doing, but I was not a fan of it, and you could skip it without really messing up any part of the story.
Yeah. And the ending is good, and I like the whole departure from, like, the super heroic stuff, but I kind of missed it after a little bit, too.
Yeah.
And I would like to see, like, maybe further adventures of him, and it's kind of too bad that, like, with all the legal stuff that went on, like, it had to, like, just stop indefinitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marvel has the rights to it now.
Yeah.
Through this big legal battle with Todd McFarlane, of all people, somehow wound up with them. So Neil Gaiman is currently writing the second arc of his trilogy, I guess. The Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Dark Age are what the 3 arcs are going to be called. Golden Age is done. Like, 2 issues are done of the Silver Age. And that's where it's been for like 20 years. But the guy that's drawing it with him is the Fables artist. Buckingham?
Oh, really? Yeah?
Is
it's Buckingham.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
In the first trade, his art style, he does all of them, but his art style is completely different in every issue. Like, I didn't realize till I was done with it that it was all that same guy. It's amazing.
Awesome.
All right, so that was Miracleman.
Yeah, Miracleman.
Great read, definitely worth it. It's one of those that I heard about for years, and for a long time you couldn't read it.
Right.
And now Marvel's put it out in these nice hardcovers. So yeah, if you have a chance, check it out. It's great.
For sure.
All right. So what do you think? Should we do this again sometime?
We could.
We'll see.
All right, well, everybody... No, that's not good.
No.
All right, well, everybody... how did we sign off before?
I don't know.
Well, that was Miracleman, so join us next time where we successfully discuss the ultimate Marvel Universe.
Ah.
We've only tried to do it like 1,000 times.
We're usually so drunk by the time we get to that we just spend the entire episode going like, oh,
it's cool.
I wish it didn't end.
So join us for that next time. Until then, I'm Troy the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
And we'll see you later, folks.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Yeah, it was fine.